Where were we? Good evening, everybody. It's System Chalk with, I think, the 78th episode of the Apostle Obsonate playthrough as Ike Upscribe. We will be going into the game pretty much right away, but I did want to take a quick second here and say that at the time of this recording, there is a giveaway that Weather Factory, the developers of this game, are doing. It's in celebration of H.P. Lovecraft's birthday. And I believe this giveaway is going to be going on until the 27th of August, so that doesn't leave me a whole lot of time between when this video is going to go live and when you'll be able to see it. But there will be a link inside of the description to their contest page. It largely, I think, just involves entering on some various forms of social media. But I think a few of you might be interested in that and possibly aren't aware of it going on. So if you're interested in that, just check the description below. I probably won't change it after it closes. So obviously rely on their website in terms of when it's open and what the official rules are. But I thought I'd get that little bit of public service out of the way. Now, where are we in the game? We're currently between expeditions. We've got the Explorer verb open. We'll probably be moving on to the observatory when we can. I do want to take a quick second here and just see the state of the world. So we are going to need to deal with an investigation. Now, the big question here is whether or not this Caligine is going to last long enough for me to send it after the evidence. I suppose what I could do is I could talk to it and just sort of send it off to get rid of the evidence right away. We still have the Maid in the Mirror and the Caligine the other Caligine ready to go for our expedition, so I don't see too many worries there. We've got Fascination on the board at the moment. We are translating a text. We're not reading one, so we don't have any threats of Fascination. That'll be coming up in 163 seconds, though. And it's another season to Suspicion, so we don't need to worry about the dread, right? In fact, we know we don't need to worry about the dread. So let's set up our turn. Not everything from the Manses can speak, but everything can understand mortal speech, even once it has passed the white door. So where are we headed to? The Eye of Ikermawi. We've read of a sultan who, 800 years ago, could only sleep beneath the stars. He ordered the construction of this observatory so that the stars could be accurately depicted on the ceiling of his bedchamber. Regrettably, the stars they saw were not safe for the unprotected human mind. The sultan's successor ordered the observatory sealed. So as always, we'll start with the summons. It's not necessarily that these are the best for every single expedition, but it's simply the case. Oh, interesting. So I've been grossly overestimating my my funds. So this is a really interesting little bug. So when I pick this up, apparently there's 36. I'm going to put it down. All right. Well, obviously we don't want to take too much of our precious time together, so I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that be. But let's take a look. The Rending Mountains stand between us and the observatory. The door will be sealed and barred against us. The visions we find may tear our senses. Okay, so I would guess Winter or Forge, both of which we'll have plenty of for the Rending Mountains. Probably Knock for the door, or again Forge, and then the visions may tear at our senses. I don't have an immediate impression on that, but we'll leave it be. Either way, we'll be fine. It's really just a question of money at this point. Okay, so then I guess the next question is there anything that I want to do with the dream slot? I don't have the Wildering Mirror repaired, so the best I could do would be to go through the Stag Door. And then the question is there anything I really want from there? Well, let's go anyway. Oh, hang on, I don't have any reason. I have prepared the text for study. So I think I just like a little clarity in terms of what's coming up next. So let's get some translations done. We will read The Dream of the Conspiracy of the Lower Skies, Siftings of the Disgraced Oracle, Daemon Azanatin. The study door, the work begins. And we we've got our secret histories work now. I think that was for Dr. Adine. Yeah. I don't know if you get secret histories commissions from anyone else. Okay, let's think about the work slot. Probably painting or commissions are the right call. I seem to recall, yes, we do have some staleness. So I'm going to try... Let's try and stick a couple of these notoriety in and then a couple of passion. And for inspiration, I will use my... Well, I'll use my dread. Because apparently I like keeping threats on the board. It makes me feel alive. Alright, let's get that reason in. I was a little reluctant to do, it's a substantial edge commission, so I think we might be able to get by with the reason, but if we're a bit short on it, it wouldn't hurt to get a little, you know, a little more, it wouldn't hurt to just have some breathing room. I'd spend money on better paints, or perhaps I could find more exotic pigments. Alright, our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I can add funds now, or I could send another follower. So the bleak high pass, the high passes, bleak and gray-green slopes, lift the eye to distant snow-edged, sky-straining peaks. It'll be a devil of a job to find anything in there. Forge will sustain us, winter will shield us. We've got the fifth eye curse. We'll need heart or winter to suppress this curse, otherwise it will not keep us from our goal, but it may trouble us later, so we're in good shape there. And finally, the warded door. An engineer or an adept has ensured that this door will not open easily. Forge or knock will defeat it. So the minimal requirement would be for me to add a forge follower. Alternatively, I can add Enid and Neville, but in both cases I will only do so once I actually arrive at the door because, well, I suppose the curse won't affect them, but it's possible we could lose them in the mountains. So we'll add the funds now just because we will need the third, event. But otherwise we're in good shape. So I hope we lose a little bit of the staleness in painting. More importantly, I hope we make a bit of money, but I'm not too worried about extending the life of the notoriety just because this one's going to live for a while anyway. Okay, another season of visions. The airs are calm, the sun is steady, the glory recedes. I'm sane if that means anything. No fascination drives your visions, it's over for now. So this has implications for the blood. I'm going to need to keep in mind that there's going to be fascination that generates from my... there's going to be fascination that comes as a result of my... my healing. Now, it's possible there'll be fascination waiting for me on the painted river, but I have the dread that we're painting with, so that's not a big worry right now. And we get the forbidden epic. The attention of the hours is drawn to the bloodiest wars. Afterwards, the histories are braided like hair. There is a great chamber in the manses through which a painted river flows. The vagabond, it is claimed, painted it from memory in the year before she left the house. Certainly, there are histories concealed in its design. I traced them with my hand last night. There were fragments of aquamarine paint beneath my nails, flecks of gold leaf when I was done. Alright. So again, we got quite a few of these. We're really looking to move a bit further. I think, if I recall correctly... This is the lone and levels... Right, okay, so we can explore these. So we'll send the Caligine right back into the Totberg because I do want to get rid of the evidence, assuming it generates, or if nothing else, I just don't want to lose the Caligine. Adding the Caligine to the expedition will help me with that door, so it's I'd prefer to have some certainty in terms of my reputation, or rather my status with the Suppression Bureau. I already know I'm notorious. The Yard called the Madrigard is at home in the cold. She will almost certainly keep us from following. Alright, I am certain that my adversary has lodged a copy of their notes elsewhere, with their solicitor, with their superior, or even with a contact in the press. This is troubling. So we can imagine the Caligine sneaking under the gap in the door and stealing away with the notes. Okay, we prepared the text for study. Again, we're potentially in a bit of a sensitive situation as far as the... oh, you know what? I probably should have read the description of the book because I think this expanded. But yeah, I'll hold off a little bit for certainty in terms of my my mental state or my emotional state before I start reading these books. But we'll... I don't know, we should be able to handle it before too long. All right, where has she gone? A discussion in VAC of the Vagabond's travels. At the study door, the work begins. My recent work is considered notable. I've exhibited the latest paintings publicly. Surely someone will buy something. All right, so the real question here, as always, is can I make more money on the next painting now that the staleness is gone? Okay, yep. And we actually got a pretty healthy payday out of that one. So do I want to go back to that well? It does mean that I'm not doing commissions. But we do need the money. I call this one I'm Happier Than You. I think I'll leave the dream slot open. We've got enough time to do one journey to the Mansis, but in this case, I think being able to sort of do something in response. The option, I put a pretty high premium on the option right now. So, all right, let's spend on paints. I keep forgetting too that I have the option of painting a few more specialized paintings, but I'll get the staleness out. Oh, you know what? Maybe the staleness goes out of the way if I paint the supernatural paintings. I see the mistakes, but I can also see the end. Excuse me. This is something special. It may provoke a reaction. Okay, so more contentment for me. Actually, I guess one of those contentment was from what I'd originally put in. Okay, still have some staleness, but we did... I mean, it's not necessarily all that much better paying than what we used to get at the worksite, but we are somewhat diminished in capacity, so... And we do have a new text. Okay, so I gotta think. Here's a few things that I'm thinking about in terms of potential threats to the playthrough right now. I've got... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, we're still fine. So in 34 seconds, well, okay, maximum 55 seconds, I'm going to need to use the Delightful Blood. That's going to provoke some fascination. It is also possible that I will generate fascination or dread depending on the, excuse me, depending on the I know it looks awful, but side here. Yeah, so we do have a few paintings in mind. One lantern, one grail, one heart. And yes, we can also do an edge painting, although certainly we don't exactly need more edge. In any case, these are things that are going to wind up generating fascination. These are things that are going to wind up generating dread, and all of these can be handled. But it's important that I don't do it in such a way that one of them gets scooped up by, you know, a season of despair, a season of visions, because that's suddenly where my options become limited. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the party with the fascination from healing. And I guess none of these really seem obvious in terms of generating a dread. I think the most likely would be edge, and that's not all that likely. Clearly, winter's already been handled. So maybe that's the way that I can navigate those waters. Alternatively, I acknowledge the Yeah, no, hang on. If I'm generating the fascination, then I want to generate the dread for the sort of the to make it whole. So second glory makes the most sense. The priest Jusei celebrates the extirpation of the gods who are stoned, those hours who preceded humanity. Sorry, I wasn't thinking very clearly. Jusei engages in an apologia for the destruction of the hours. They were old, they were cowardly, they were vile, and their time had passed, and it was the shining destiny of humankind to seize the house through glorious battle. And we are getting a little short on time, and if I can, I'd like to... Oh, we failed. My minion has not returned. They have failed, and their blundering, it may have attracted attention. All right. Well, the notoriety was going to happen one way or the other. But this is another threat that I wasn't originally planning on. Looks like I'm going to get sick soon too. So I don't have the material. Well, okay, I have some materials for summoning, but I'll leave that for now. Let's take the time and do. Should either be a commission or a paint. Well, let's. You know what? I'm actually going to do the commission after all. So the reasoning here is I want to get the fascination a little more, a little bit lower on a little longer along its timeline than where it's at right now. Okay, so at the very least we can turn in our existing commission with Dr. Redeem. We can also get the Wildering Mirror. That was Dr. requested. So we will need to add another forge follower if we can't find a source of forge. Receive the currency of the secret world, and my patron has let tantalizing information slip. Okay. So Madame Bichet is ready for a new commission. We'll talk with her. Our tools are ready. We should be able to penetrate this warded door. So let's add Velsine to make that certain. We'll almost certainly shatter this warded door. Madame Bichet would like something on Grail. And we'll just let the talk verb run by. Okay, so we're gonna go straight into the dream of the end. I consume the little vial of blood, lie back, close my eyes. Tomorrow I will be stronger. Oh, I forgot how short that was. Oh, that's a real bummer. Okay, that's fine. The dread that we generate should still get us through. That's so... Oof. I am much recovered. More than that, I'm sumptuous. The sclare of my eyes, the veins in my wrists are aswim with gorgeous serums. When the vitulation comes, I will be the centerpiece for our delight to prove their appetite, to enact the grail. We can get through this. Okay, contentment's coming up, so in this case I should be a little bit freer with generating dread. Now, one important thing that's going to happen as a result here is that it's going to just pick up any dread that appears on the board, so now I don't need to keep the dream slot open. With that in mind, I am going to need to heal in a minute, but I'm free to sort of do something else. So let's think about what else we can take advantage of in terms of the dream slot. I can go back through the stag door. That will potentially get me some forge or some knock with which I can summon another Caligine. So in my dreams I know the path to the stag door through the maze of the bounds. Gearby will let me pass, but the path is always a puzzle. I will need reason. The stag door is the Adept's Gate. To pass it is to be initiated into the first true mystery of the House of the Sun. The head Gearby weeps to see me enter where it cannot, but it must let me pass. The scarred valves of the door grind open. All doors must open, as all lives must end. This door has found its end here today. And, as predicted, the dread has sort of saved us. So, Jusei recounts how the hour called the Seven Coils was slain in battle by the Colonel. And how the Grail devoured the hour called Tide, and how the egg unhatching fled like a coward. He's quite vituperative about the egg unhatching. He warns darkly against its return. So we have the recitation of lost hours. This is a new bit of winter lore for us. So 6 are gone, 5 came from stone, and 1 from light. All went to nowhere. Still their memories have power, and now we call on it. So that's a 10th level winter, and we have the Right of the Beast division, which was not necessarily new for us. Okay, Let's go and read another book. In this case, I'm going to read Where Has She Gone? Actually, you know what? We're close enough to wrapping up that I think I'll maybe end it here. I'll read the full text when we're ready to study. But what are the next plans? Well, basically, I'd still like to kind of clear out the staleness, but I think it's an opportunity because I'm generating a bunch of notoriety. I am going to try painting some of those more, those more higher level, well, basically those artifact paintings, mostly just because I want to have them. We'll have, hopefully from a trip to the Mansus, we'll hopefully have something to summon a new Caligine from. If I don't get that, there's other ways that I can summon the Caligine with what I have already. But I tend to like using the influences if I can because they expire. Other than that, we will carry on. We're pretty much finished our journeys through the Rending Mountains. The Tomb of the Shadowless Kings is not going to generate any more books, so that's why I wasn't necessarily just chewing through them right away, because we're actually going to have a couple of delays. In addition to going through the Tombs of the Shadowless Kings, I do need to explore at least one Vagabond's map. I suspect there's going to be a couple here. And that, of course, means that we also need to generate more Vagabond's maps so we can upgrade them to the final Secret Histories lore, and that will actually start giving us access to some tools that will make our overall journey a little bit easier. But we are going to save all of that for Friday. So again, for those of you who are able to see the descriptions, I think if you're watching on mobile, you need to click on the little arrow beside the title of the video. If you are interested in participating in Weather Factory's giveaway, I will put a link for that. That's just me being nice. They haven't asked me to put that out, so obviously if it is closed or if I have misled, that is on me. Please do read those terms because that's something they're running, not me. And of course, as always, I thank you for watching. If you have not done so already, do feel free to subscribe to the channel, leave a like to the video or a dislike. I'm not too precious about it. And as always, I always appreciate your comments. So thank you for those. We'll see you on Friday.